Hey, in this video, we're going to talk about the top reasons why you never get better. Isn't that amazing? So many golfers are stuck on the same handicap, give or take, for years. Right after this, let's talk about why. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. I am on a mission to hit the ball as long and straight as I did when I was younger, because hitting it long and straight is just fun. So if you'd like to have more fun and maybe pick up a few more yards on your drives this year, then by all means join us. Hit the subscribe button right down there and support the channel by hitting the like button if you got something out of this video and leaving a comment down below. All right, let's get it started. The number one reason that you don't improve is the most obvious one: time and repetition. So of course life gets in the way for most of us, and we just don't ever get a chance to practice as much as we would like. And that is completely understandable between health and family and work. Sometimes we just run out of hours. So I've got two suggestions in order to combat this problem. Number one, you can still do some practicing at home. If you have a really good home setup, let's say in the yard or the garage, if you can identify a couple areas of weakness in your swing mechanically, you can spend, even if it's just 5 minutes a night at home, doing drills to work on those weaknesses. And also at home, I think every night you should do a little bit of mirror work. That means practicing setting up in front of the mirror and maybe doing a couple of checkpoints during the swing that you're trying to get to. Now, another way to combat not having enough time is to simply become more time efficient. If you really got to organize your practice, let's say you only get 1 day a week when you have just enough time on the way home from work to hit a half a bucket of balls. Well, you can't just go out and hit them willy-nilly. You're going to have a plan. I would even have it written on a note card to make every ball have a purpose. So let's say you have 50 balls, you've got a half an hour before you're going to get screamed at for being late. And so you really have to make it count. I would have drills on note card, 5 to 10 golf balls, where every ball is going to be part of a drill. Say the first 10 can be kind of warm-ups, but you should still have some kind of purpose even on those first 10, like even if it's to work on a slightly new and better grip, or maybe practice getting your shoulders square. That can all be part of your first 10 ball setup. So you continue through the rest of the bucket, changing drills, maybe doing 2 or 3 drills, and then the last 10 balls you're going to switch clubs and maybe hit to some different targets, so you kind of know what to expect if you go out and play that weekend, how you'll be hitting the ball. Second reason you don't ever improve is because when you try to make any changes or swing anything different, maybe you're trying to act on the advice that you got from your last golf lesson. And of course, most people give up too quick because they hit the ball very poorly while they're working on the new material. Now you've got to remember that a golf swing is an extremely delicate balance of coordination. You've got to strike the sweet spot the size of a nickel to the middle of the ball, which is the size of a dime, and you've got a 4-foot stick from one end to the other to do that with. So any little small change in what your normal routine is, sure, can throw your balance off, can throw the contact way off, throw the face angle way off. You have to expect to spray it while you're working on something new until you build enough coordination as you were doing it the old way. So this means you've got to gear your expectation towards 99.9% simply doing the motion that you're supposed to do correctly, or making the grip correctly, whatever it is you're working on, and only 0.1% caring about where the shot goes. You might as well just be hitting into a net indoors while you're working on something new. It's actually less discouraging for most people. And what I do with my students is I give them the $1 million dare. I'll say, okay, if you can swing inside out 1 degree or more, because you usually swing outside in. If you can swing in and out 1 degree, I'll give you $1 million. And if the shot is good, I'll give you a bonus of $5. So of course, no one's going to care about $5 if they have a chance at winning $1 million. So consider yourself to have won the victory, won the battle, if you just simply do the motion or the new correction right, not worrying about the shot. My personal example, one thing I'm working on is making a longer, wider backswing. But as I'm doing this, it's throwing me out of my comfort zone. And so I don't often hit the sweet spot, and I don't often hit the fairway when I do it very well. So all I'll do is I'll video it, and if I can get to the spot I'm trying to get to, past parallel in this case, I give myself the $1 million, don't really care about the shot. So something like this. Now I knew I took it back for the victory because I could actually see the club head out of the corner of my left eye at the top of the swing. That is what I defined as a victory. If I can do 15 or 20 of those in a row, I can walk to the car, put the clubs in the trunk, and go home a very happy man, no matter how bad the ball got sprayed. All right, so a third big reason why you never improve is because when you do work on, even if you are working on the right thing, you're using too much club head speed. You're trying to do a new motion as fast as you were doing the old motion. Now this is just impossible. You see, through the buildup of coordination and what's called myelinization, there's only one exact way that you are able to swing at your maximum speed. You have to necessarily drop your speed if you're going to make any kind of different move, simply because that new move is not coordinated enough to swing at high speed. Most people try to swing normal clubs and distances thinking that they're going to do some kind of significant change, and it just doesn't happen. So let's say, for example, I'm working on getting rid of my left elbow pull. I'm just trying to keep my arm a little bit straighter while I throw. I'll go as slow as I have to do it right. So I've got a 9-iron here. I might do a quick rehearsal of what I'm trying to do. Then I will go as slow as I have to make it perfect. All right, so normally I'll hit a 9-iron about 155 yards. That one went approximately 110. And that's after working on this move for a month or two. I'm still only able to do it really perfectly out to about 110 yards. So I will keep building that habit up so that I can eventually hit it the same distance I used to with the pulling move. But sometimes it's so difficult, it's so weird to do something new. For example, if you're a big outside-in slicer, you might have to hit the ball, who knows, maybe 30 yards in the air in order to swing from the inside out correctly. Don't put a number on it. Never have a target or an external focus when you're working on doing something differently. Just call the field, the entire field, the target, and just do it right. All right, and one last thing that prevents you from ever getting better at golf, lowering your scores, lowering your handicap, maybe even just getting longer off the tee, and that's that most golfers simply aren't vigilant enough. Now, once you get down to a certain handicap, if you start to get into the single digits, you're one of those lucky people, this is where vigilance really, really has to become hyper, because it's so easy over 6 months, 3 months, even a year, to drop back into old bad habits. So all that work you've been doing to get out of a certain move, it's taken you a year or 2 years to really cure this one bad move. You've really dropped down. You'll see, give it 3 months without focusing on it, you'll start sliding right back into it, not even realize that. I'll give you one example from my own game, is that if I'm not vigilant about it, I'll start getting open with my shoulders, like this. Something that I will fall into probably for the rest of my life, because I know I've fallen into it 2 or 3 times. So I have to do my mirror work. I have to always film myself at least once in a while, once a week, even once a month. Get out and film yourself, or have your buddy film you. and take a look at it and make sure that you're not dropping back into those old bad habits. All right, I'm going to go back to work on my weaknesses. I've got my 5-ball set here all marked out. I know exactly what I'm going to be working on in these next 5 balls, and I'm not going to try to combine it with any other skill or idea. I'm just going to do this one idea perfectly, no matter how slow I have to go. I'm just going to execute the move exactly as well as I know it can be done. Hopefully you'll take some of these ideas out into your practice, and I hope you get a lot better, even if you don't have a lot of time. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I'm Steve, and as usual, I'll either see you in the next video, or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.